All right, let's just forget about stock tips and crypto for a second. Today, we're going to dive deep into the psychology of wealth. You know, the invisible stuff that keeps most people broke, and the simple mental shift that can unlock true financial freedom.
So let me ask you a question. When you hear the word wealthy, what picture pops into your head? I'm willing to bet it's all the loud stuff, right? The fancy cars, the giant houses, the designer watches. That's the image we're sold 24/7.
But here's the crazy paradox. What society tells you is wealth, that's usually just loud spending. Real wealth, true wealth, is almost always silent. It's not about the stuff you buy, it's about having peace of mind, it's about having options, and really, it's about owning your own time completely.
And this right here gets to the absolute heart of it. See, it's super easy to look rich by just racking up debt for flashy things, but you can't fake real wealth. It's impossible, because it's not about what you're showing on the outside. It's an internal feeling of freedom.
Okay, so first things first, let's just tear down this whole illusion. We need to get a handle on why our brains are so easily tricked by the appearance of wealth.
Here is a huge, critical distinction. Most people who say they want to be a millionaire, they don't actually want $1 million in assets. What they really want is to spend $1 million. And those two desires, they are polar opposites. One builds wealth, and the other absolutely demolishes it.
And that desire, that need to spend and show everyone how well you're doing, it leads us straight into this massive psychological trap. And it's one that's been kind of hardwired into our DNA for thousands of years.
It's called the status game. And it's not about vanity, it's about survival. We are biologically programmed to signal our value to the tribe. 1,000 years ago, that meant being the best hunter. Today, that ancient instinct gets hijacked, and it tells us to buy the newest phone or a designer bag to prove we're successful.
The author Morgan Housel just nails it with this quote. Wealth isn't the stuff you can see. It's the decision not to buy things. It's the money that's quietly sitting in your investments, working for you in the background where no one else can see it.
So here's the bottom line. If you're playing the status game with your money, you are guaranteed to lose. To build actual lasting wealth, you have to find a way to separate your self-worth from the things you own. So, if the point of money isn't just to buy a bunch of stuff, then what is it for? Well, that brings us to a much, much more powerful goal.
The single greatest thing your money can ever buy you is this one word: autonomy. It's the freedom to wake up in the morning and decide for yourself what you want to do with your day. That's it. It's the ability to control your own life.
Now think about this for a second. We trade our time, our actual life force, for a paycheck, right? So when you save and invest that money, you're not just hoarding paper. You are literally storing your past time so you can buy back your future time.
So what does this freedom actually look like in the real world? Well, it's the power to walk away from a job you hate. It's the freedom to take 6 months off to go learn a new skill. It's the security of knowing that a medical emergency won't destroy you financially. It's having the choice to work on what you love, not just what pays the bills.
Okay, but if the goal is that clear, why is it so incredibly hard to achieve? Why do even people with really high incomes still feel like they're just running in place? Well, this leads us to yet another psychological trap.
It's called the hedonic treadmill. It's this fascinating tendency our brains have to just get used to good things really fast. You get a big raise, you feel amazing for a couple of weeks. But then, pretty soon, that new income is just your new normal, and the happiness just kind of fades away.
Here's how the cycle works. You get a raise, and what's the first thing you do? You upgrade your lifestyle. Nicer car, bigger apartment. It feels great for a little while, but then it becomes normal. And to get that same rush of happiness, you need even more. Your desires just keep inflating right alongside your income. You could be making $1 million a year and still be trapped on this thing, always feeling like you're just one step behind. So how on earth do you get off?
The answer is a single, deceptively simple word: enough. The only way to win this game is to stop moving the goalposts. Instead of always chasing more, you have to define what is enough for you. Enough for you to live a joyful, fulfilling life. Once you figure out that number, you can step off the treadmill for good.
So, this all sounds great in theory, but how do we actually put it into practice? Let's talk about a clear, actionable framework to start building your own silent wealth, like today.
Okay, 3 steps. First, track your joy, not just your expenses. Look at what you bought last month and ask yourself, how much lasting happiness did this actually bring me? You'll be shocked at the answers. Second, embrace stealth wealth. Make it a private game.
Look ordinary on the outside while your financial foundation becomes extraordinary. And third, and this might be the most important, automate your discipline. Don't rely on willpower. Set up automatic transfers to investments so the money is gone before you ever have a chance to miss it.
In the end, it all comes down to a new definition of success. Forget the luxury car. The greatest status symbol, the ultimate flex, is waking up in the morning and knowing with absolute certainty that your day belongs to you and you alone.
So, I'll just leave you with this question. When you look back on your life, how are you going to measure it? By the things you owned, or by the moments you were truly, completely free? That, right there, is the silent psychology of financial freedom.